down low. It goes centered in front. Scores. Well, that didn't go very well, did it?
It's a new year, but the same Leafs. They ended up losing tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I feel like we're running into the same issues with the Leafs. Now, Auston Matthews has had a spectacular season, now having 63 goals on the season, a total of 99 points in 74 games played. He has been absolutely electric, and while you could say Marner and Liljegren being out definitely affected the Leafs, and if they were in the lineup it could possibly change, I still have the same old question. Offensively, the Leafs are an amazing team. Matthews, Nylander, Marner, a fantastic trio to build your team around. John Tavares is slowed down, but he's giving you decent enough production. While I have not many worries about their top six, their bottom six, while their third line is improved from last season, are they good enough to get past the second round? And as for the defense, it's a okay defense. It's not the worst by any stretch of the imagination the Leafs have had, but I don't look at anyone on that roster as a shutdown guy. I don't think they have a number one defenseman. And some Leaf fans might disagree with me. I think Morgan Rielly's more of a 2 than a 1. But even if you want to say Morgan Rielly's a number one defenseman, they just have average to slightly above average defenders. And in the playoffs, is that going to be good enough to get them where they want to be? And when I look at the Atlantic, I would take Boston, Florida, and Tampa Bay Lightning over the Maple Leafs all day long. And that's not just recency bias because the Lightning won tonight. They have proven in the past they have the ability to go on these runs. And I don't think there's this massive separation between the Lightning and the Leafs. And when it comes down to it, goaltending is everything in the playoffs. And while Joseph Woll's had a solid season, do I consider him an elite starter? Not really, just steady. Ilya Samsonov has turned things around from the beginning of the season, but still an average NHL goaltender. And I would say the same thing with Martin Jones. What has continually kept the Leafs from reaching greatness is their defense and goaltending. And when I look at their roster, I think we're going to see history repeating itself. Because will Joseph Woll be able to rise up in a playoff series? Vasilevsky has not had an amazing year, but I trust Vasilevsky far more than any goaltender on the Leafs roster, and Vasilevsky's been playing a lot better recently. Seems like he's starting to come into form. And when I look at the other teams around the Atlantic, the Bruins, I like their goaltending and their defense more. When I look at the Florida Panthers, I like their defense and goaltending more. It seems like the Leafs just have this same kryptonite year in, year out. And until they can add more quality on the back end and Woll can take another step in his development, I think the Leafs are always going to be that solid team that's just not good enough to go the distance. Now, I know some Leaf fans are going to push back on me. You could say, well, they just beat the Florida Panthers. They beat the Edmonton Oilers a couple weeks ago. But then you see the inconsistency with this Leafs team. They lost the Devils. They lost the Hurricanes. Even before that, they lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. Are they good enough in their 200-foot game to be a threat in the playoffs? And I'm just not sure. Maybe they prove me wrong. Matthews is having a crazy year, but when I look at this roster, it's just more of the same. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you think the Maple Leafs will be able to go on a deep playoff run? Or do you think they're missing key pieces to eventually win a Stanley Cup? I'm Captain Paul for Locker Room. Appreciate if you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.
This one in the books. It's a Tampa Bay 4-1 win.